Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell, and this is the Inspiration Show. Today, we're talking about the law of attraction, and we're talking about stepping up into a space where you feel like you want to make a difference, but you're not quite sure how to do that. And my special guest today, the lovely Miss Christy Whitman, is helping people to do that. How are you, Christy?
Hi, Natalie. I'm great. Thanks for having
Yes,
me.
now Christy and I are like law of attraction soul sisters. We
Yes.
both teach very similar things, but Christy's stepping up in a bigger way and empowering other people to actually spread this message as well. Now, before we get into that conversation, why don't we start with your journey and your background and how you got into doing this kind of work?
You know, it's crazy because I learned about universal laws, started learning about 17, 18 years ago when my life was literally just like, we kind of look at different elements of our lives, whether it's our body, our finances, our career, our relationships, kind of like as the ways of, okay, am I creating what I want in my life? Or it didn't even have that language at the time, but it's like, okay, my body was 30 pounds overweight. I was $60,000 in credit card debt. I kept dating the wrong kind of guys, totally unemotionally available. It just was literally in a bad place in my life. I'd moved from Chicago to California for the last bad guy, so I had no friends, no support system around me, no family around me. Just felt really isolated, very alone, very desperate, no purpose, no passion in my life at all. And it's one of those moments where you're just like on your knees, like, what am I doing here? There's got to be something different. And with that beautiful intention, life started opening up for me, and I started learning through a meditation teacher how to meditate, and actually that everything is energy, and that thoughts are energy, and that you better pay attention to your thoughts. And when I started doing that, I was like, oh my God, no wonder I'm in so much trouble here, because my thoughts were so negative. So I slowly started changing thought by thought and feeling by feeling, and started becoming more empowered in my life, and realizing that I am something more than just like this meat suit. I'm literally like, I'm a connected human being to all that is, and started opening up to a spiritual life. And about 5 years into practicing law of attraction, I then became an author, and then a speaker and a coach, and was just amazed at that point in my life how different my life was, because I had money in the bank, no debt, I had a size 4 body, it was like I was married to a really wonderful man. I mean, things were just like, wow, total shift. So now here I am all these years later, and it's like I am making more money than I ever thought possible. I'm still maintained a size 4 body even after having 2 children. I have a very passionate marriage with my husband, Frederick, who's also my business partner. I mean, and on it goes. The support I have. I didn't know life could be this good, and I look back at that version of myself back then, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like it feels like 2 totally different lifetimes, and it's all because of the fact that I came and attracted this information about universal laws like law of attraction.
Yeah. It's interesting how you talk about, how you realize that you weren't your meat suit, that you weren't, that you weren't the different things in your life. Like I look at, and this is a conversation that, that we've had, that I've been having with a lot of people recently, is that, well, who are we really? I find that there's so many people, and women especially, are stepping through transitions in their life, whether it's stepping out of a long-term career, a long-term marriage or relationship or whatever it is, and they're kind of thinking, well, who am I? But the reason they're asking this question is because it's like their soul is awakening for the first time, and they're like, whatever situation they were in, it's like, well, I can't do this anymore. This is crushing my soul. And so they're starting to realize that they are not their personality, that they are not their behaviors, they are not, the suit, that the body that they walk around in, that they're what's in underneath that. Is that what you've been finding as well? Have you been having those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, we're just in an exciting time on the planet right now. It's like this third dimensional reality of what I can see, touch, and smell. It's like opening up to this fourth dimensional reality where we're realizing that I'm so much more than this. And if I'm not my job, if I'm not my body, if I'm not my marriage, if I'm not the role of being a mom or a parent, it's like, what am I? And the answer is like, it's nothingness, but it's everything. It's like it's both and at the same time. It's like this, literally, it's not what we think is the outer success. And I think many of us are kind of going, you know what? this way that we've all been programmed to live and try to reach for success and the things that we thought were going to make us happy, it just isn't working. And so many people are like, well, I've done it. Like I've created my business, or I've created the money I wanted, or I got married and I had the kids, and I did all the things that they said I was supposed to do, that I should do to be happy. And I did all those things and went, wait a minute, but I'm still not happy. There's got to be more. And I think that intention of there's got to be more, it really is birthing so much more of a bigger consciousness that all of us are going, there is more. And, there's teachers like us that can say, yeah, there is more. It's not just about money. Money can't buy you happiness. When you have it, it's great. It brings a lot of fun and freedom and all that kind of stuff. But so many people think that are struggling, that don't have money, that, okay, well, if I just get the money, that's going to make me feel better. That's going to be the answer to all my problems. So they work and work and work and try to manifest, and they get there and they're like, well, that wasn't it. And then you almost feel more depressed, because it's like, if it's not that, then what is it? And it's that returning to the connection of source, of who we truly are. And it's at that level that we can really connect with that energy, because it's all energy. We can connect with that energy of just that zest and that passion and, the true juice of life. And sometimes it's not the big fancy stuff. Sometimes it's literally just being with ourselves and knowing who we are and connecting with a friend and having these in-depth conversations, or, sharing those, like, having it all moments that are just literally about being present and being full of who we are, being the fullness of ourselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've been through a personal journey myself in the last, year, because I kind of felt like I was living life on the surface. Like everything was just here. I wasn't feeling any deep emotions. I didn't feel like I had any deep connections. What I realized, it was actually coming from a pattern that I had adopted when I was very young, when my biological mother left when I was about 3 years old. And so I took on this pattern of like shutting down emotionally and putting on this strong front. And that, served me for quite some time. But then I got to the point where it's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm longing for something different. And so a lot of the conversations I'm having, obviously like you are having as well, is like, people, women especially, they're longing for something different, and that connection and really discovering who they are. And for me, in the last 12 months, my moments of joy, that I really feel like I have tears and I'm feeling joyful and exceptionally happy, are not because of the extrinsic things in my life. It's because I've actually dropped into the moment. I'm actually present in the moment, and I'm appreciating what that is. I recently was on a cruise with a group called TLC, which is Jack Canfield's group. We were in Croatia. And I remember one of my most amazing moments on that cruise was sitting down and I was talking with a gentleman by the name of Stuart Emery. He's an amazing legend. He started a company called Est here in the US. He's an Australian guy. But he's just being Stuart, and he's just having this conversation, and he's imparting his wisdom. And I remember tearing up thinking, I'm having this conversation with this gentleman on this boat in Croatia, like I'm here. This is amazing, and it really helped me. Well, it really inspires me to step up and be a better version of myself and really help as many people as I can. Now I know that that a lot of people that you get to work with are in that same boat. They're wanting to make a difference. Like how are you helping people to do that?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I mean, I had people. It's kind of like I like to say, if you listen, the universe is like always giving you hints and clues. And sometimes we listen and it seems like we can hear the whispers. Other times it seems like it's like the universe is screaming at us. Well, in 2008, so long time, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was a long time ago, I was literally getting told by my personal coaching clients that I was coaching, I want to do what you do. I want you to certify me to do what you do as a coach. And I'm going, but I don't do that. And then 2 days later, I go and speak at a yoga studio on law of attraction, and 2 people come up to me going, I want you to certify me to do what you do. And I'm like, I don't do that. And then I literally had another client out of the blue that's like, can you please, I want to do what you do. I want to empower people. I want to change people's lives. And I went, all right, instead of saying, I don't do that, what would that look like if I did do that? And it was crazy, amazing, Natalie. It was like just this download, this download of information, how I would do the program, who I would, work with to promote the program, what the curriculum would be, what the processes would be, the time frame. I mean, it all just was like, whoosh. So I put it out there in the fall of 2008, contacted some people that I knew were in the law of attraction arena, and the Quantum Success Coaching Academy was born. And literally that year, that semester, started certifying people to do what I do. And literally, like, I was watching before my eyes, like, their lives were becoming transformed. Were like everything from the things they were manifesting, from the state of peace that they felt in themselves, to the way they just approached things. They weren't as knocked off by people and situations. I mean, every aspect of their lives was changing, and yet they were going through a certification program to become a coach. And so we do 2 semesters every year. We do a fall semester and a spring semester, and it's amazing because it's a 12-month certification program where people literally, I like to say that they come into the QSCA womb, and then 12 months later, it's like they're birthed a new person, because it's just such a transformational program where it's like an immersion program where you're in the energy, you're learning about not just law of attraction, but all the 7 essential laws, learning the processes, how to navigate it, because I always say that it's 2 things. Like, it's knowing the information, like knowing the universal laws is really important so that you're aware of it, but then 2, it's like having processes, having information, having, whether it's EFT, knowing something to help get you out of those states when you're not feeling good, when you see those limiting beliefs coming up, when you feel like, I'm just angry and I have no idea why I'm angry today. What do I do with this? Because we're all human and we all have those moments. We all have those days. It doesn't matter how long we've been applying law of attraction. So that really helps people do that. But what is more beautiful is that I've been able to witness this thing that I created, this coaching academy, that is literally creating a huge ripple effect on so many people's lives, because now the people that are getting certified, they're now coaching people, doing what I do and getting the results that I do in my clients. They're now changing lives of people that I'm never going to coach, people whose lives I'm never going to touch. And it's just amazing to see this ripple effect and to see people, these men and women, come into alignment with who they are, and then truly come from a place of passion and purpose, where they are giving, where they're being of service, where they feel like, yes, now I have some kind of purpose here, and now I'm able to change lives. I'm able to contribute, which is, all of us want to contribute. We all feel like we're all interconnected anyway. So it feels so good intrinsically as like such a lower level need, as a basic need to contribute and help and provide and serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is, when you learn this kind of information, and that's why something like your coaching academy is so amazing. You can learn information and go, okay, read it and go, yep, got it. Okay, I understand law of attraction works like this. But then you've got to live it.
Yes.
Okay, then you've got to actually apply it, and you've got to live it, and you've got to make it part of who you are and how you act and your behavior and the decisions that you make and all that kind of thing. And one of the best ways to do that is that when you're learning from a position of how you're going to teach other people. Is that what you find?
Exactly. It's perfectly well said. But what you said is so important. It's not a concept. It's like so many of us hear something and it's like, oh, self-love. Okay. Well, it's like we get it as a concept, but how many of us are actually living that and doing that and like moving from that energetic place from that? And so when you start to live universal laws and understand energy and how to work with that and how to release limitations and magnetize, I mean, it's so cool. There's a class that we teach in the course, how to literally work with energy to magnetize what you want, and we work with money. And I can't tell you how many coaches will say to me, oh my God, after just doing that in the class, like I just magnetized $25,000 to myself. Or 5,000 or 8,000, there's been so many different numbers throughout the years, but it's like, I don't act like I'm surprised, because I'm like, I know, it works. It's a process I use all the time, so it's just, when you have tried and true principles that work and processes that work, someone comes in, they're like, oh my God, and I'm not surprised anymore, because it's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we all have a story about someone that truly inspires us from, applying what we teach and really, through what they've overcome and how the difference that they're making in the world. So what's one of those stories for you?
You know, I have so many, right? But one in particular that I'm thinking about, her name is Julie, and she was a high school teacher, and she was just like really having a hard time in all aspects of her life, like with her marriage. Just didn't like what she was doing as a school teacher, loved the kids, but it felt like she had no influence in being able to make change or to teach the way she wanted to. And like her limit hit when she was actually on a school bus. They were going to a prison. So she's with a bunch of high school kids on their way to going to a prison to show them what it's like to live in a prison. And I like that. It's exact opposite of a mind movie. Yeah. Right? So she was like, this doesn't feel right. Why are we like giving the kids an experience of going to jail? She's like, this is like totally not what I want to be teaching them. And she actually got my email from one of the partners that was who was suggesting the QSCA, and she said, oh my God, I'm doing this. And she immediately signed up. And she hasn't looked back since. She since have quit her job as a teacher. She is now has a full, thriving coaching practice. Her relationship with her husband is more connected, and she's more in love than she's ever been, and they've been married over 10 years. She's now actually pregnant. They decided that, yes, now we want to have a family, and she's like so excited to become a mom. But, she's changing lives, and actually I think you won't even know her. She did a summit to help people, to get parents, educators, influential people on board talking about the differences that we can make in the school system so that we're changing the curriculum and the rules and the thought process. Stop taking kids to a prison and start getting them to visualize what it would feel like to have a thriving career and to be creative and doing these things. So Julie's making great money. She's loving what she's doing. She's got her own time. She does what she wants, when she wants, how she wants it. Relationship is doing fantastic. So, I mean, she's just a great success story, like of someone that just completely did the work and changed her life.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I do know Julie. She's an amazing person, and she's like facilitating an incredible change around the world. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So are you starting a new semester soon?
We are. The classes start in October, first week of October. So we're really excited about it. So it's 12 months, and it's just get immersed.
Great. Now, guys, if you click on the banner to the side of this video, you're going to go straight through to Christy's website so that you can find out more about that and connect with her and to, step into a bigger version of you and making a difference. So, Christy, thank you so much for joining me, honey. It's been always awesome talking to you.
Thanks, Natalie. You too. I'll talk to you soon.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, make sure that you download the app if you haven't done so already so you can watch the shows on the go. And leave your email in the box on this page because I'd love to send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It's actually valued at $87, and I would love to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.